Que pasa, Mufasa? I learned a very valuable lesson that I want to share with you guys. It is so important that you pick and choose your company carefully. And here's what I mean by that. January 23rd of this year, I met my now boyfriend. And, we've been talking every day and everything. And I was seeing a major difference in myself personally, like who I am as a person, and my family, my bestie, my coworkers. Everyone was seeing such a major change in me, only for the better. Saying I was glowing and that I was more positive, that I was finally me again. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I believe that the date was February 11th. While I was at work, it was, a normal day. I was texting my now boyfriend, my Buzzy Bill, and I was happy. It was a decent day at work, not overly good, not bad. It was a day, having fun, and all of a sudden my manipulative ex gets in contact with me. Immediately, my mood just goes shut down. And I know some people are going to be like,
well, yeah, of course, it's your ex contact.
No, I felt such familiar energy is the only way to put it. The way that and some people are like, well, you didn't have to. No, the things that he needed to talk to me about, they were serious. I did need to have this conversation with him. But even still, it's like just dealing with him, I felt that energy shift in me. I remember afterwards, I was just drained. I'm very, very proud of myself because during the conversation, I stood up for myself. I said things that when my bestie ended up taking her lunch, and when she heard me, she was almost choking on her chicken nuggets, and because she was laughing so hard at things like he was ask if we can still be friends, and I'm like, absolutely not. And he's like, I heard you moved on or talking to a guy, and I'm like, yeah, I actually am. And even though we've only been talking less than 2 weeks, in these 2 weeks, he's done more for me than you have in the 2.5 years we were together. And, telling him, he's like asking for my permission to move on. And I'm like, you moved on in our relationship. Yeah, he cheated. It's like, just dealing with him, I was so stressed out. And after we got off the phone and everything, I was literally thinking about what I was going to do. It involved possible legal action that I was going to have to be a part of, and I'm just like, do I want to deal with? I don't really want to deal with this, but is it the right thing to do? Is it not? Like, it was everything going through my head, and I was so stressed out. And I remember I was sitting there, and what I realized, I was like, my God, this is how I was the entire duration of our relationship. This stress felt so familiar to me. This energy sucking, I just literally felt everything drain out of me. And the way that I felt was exactly how I felt throughout the entire relationship. And it occurred to me, I'm just like, oh my God, was I like this the entire time? Like, I felt miserable. I didn't even want to be around myself during that time. I wish I could have separated myself, because I was like, I don't like how I feel. I don't like the person that I'm being right now. And it's not like I wasn't being mean or anything. It's just, I was just so, I can't describe it. I wasn't me. This is the part where I got real emotional. I recognized these feelings, and I was like, was this how I was the entire time? So I go up to my bestie, and I know she's always going to tell me the truth. And I'm like, bestie, I need to ask you a serious question. And I said, was I this way the entire time me and him were together? And she said, yeah, you were unalive. She said, the person you are now, she's like, with Buzz, you're Bubbles. Which I know I haven't talked about on TikTok, but Bubbles is my nickname for my bubbly personality, if you didn't catch that on. But she goes to tell me that I'm finally me again, because every time me and my manipulative ex were off and on, every time we were off, her and everyone else in my life was begging me, don't give him another chance, don't take him back, don't do this. And what happened? I fell for his lies, his tricks, his BS over and over and over. But part of it was I was catching on to things, and I wanted to play a little bit of it to see, I was learning a lesson. And I was like, is this really, they say, you know, to keep giving someone a chance until they hurt you so much that you just don't care anymore. I was saying, like, is that like real? Because like, I just want this gone. She told me that is exactly how I was. That destroyed me. Because I was like, if I don't even want to be around myself right now, I must have been absolutely miserable to my family, my bestie. And for me, like, I can admit, it's very difficult for me to apologize to somebody, because it's not of the fact like I don't feel sorry, because I really do. It's actually, I don't know if it's pride or whatever it is. If anyone knows psychology and can let me know what it is, can you let me know? But I think it's because in a way it means that I failed. I don't ever want to hurt anybody. No matter who it is, I don't like to hurt people. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. I don't want to do wrong by anybody. And so it's like, if I'm apologizing, it's because I did something wrong to you. And I don't want to do wrong. I always want to do the right thing. And I realistically know that's not possible. But I apologized to my bestie. I broke down in tears. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I realized I had to have been an absolutely horrible person. Incredibly stressful and everything. I got home. I had the same conversation with my sister, my brother-in-law, my nephew, and my mom. I apologized to every single person, because it literally took that phone call and dealing with him again and all that stress for me to see. That was the effect he had on me, because when we weren't together, I was myself again. I was actually positive. I was happy. I was a good person. But every time I was with him, I was miserable. Like, I'm serious. I didn't even want to be around myself. I was like, so I'm like, these people, I don't know how they did it. That's why I realized it's very, very important, the people that you have in your life, and especially those that are going to be the closest to you, who you choose in a partner. Because if you feel like they're sucking the life out of you and your energy, they ain't it. No, that you're supposed to feel uplifted and positive and happy. And that's truly how I feel now. I've learned so much, and I'm still learning so much. It is such a difference. It is eye-opening when you see the stuff that you were tolerating and dealing with before, and when you finally let it all go and live a good, more positive life. You can't always make the best decisions, but when you make a bad decision, you can learn from your mistake. And with that being said, if you're noticing something's a little off, just reevaluate the people in your life. How does everybody make you feel? How do they treat you? How does everyone else see your behavior? Because sometimes you need an outside perspective. You can't always go by what other people say. You got to choose that very carefully, because, you know, some people, they're just going to be negative all the time. And some people are just, you know, they have their own personal issues they're going to take out on you. But you need to keep an open mind to receiving what everyone is saying. If people are noticing things about you, your behavior, and things like that when you're with certain people, just be open to receive that and take that into consideration. Is there something you need to adjust? I love you guys, and I'll see you later.